you're going to try really hard on this half of the cycle. You're going to try really hard, and then you're going to be like, how come it's not working? And you wouldn't even know what the problem is. If you want to love people, you got to be nice to yourself and give yourself some credit about what you are doing well. And you also are aware of what you need to improve. But notice that there's nothing in here that says you're terrible, that you're a jerk, that you're stupid. Nothing in here says you're dumb. Maybe you don't know something. Okay, well, that goes on the list of, oh, that's something I need to improve. But if you want to work with people, invite people, share with people, enroll people, and teach people, if you want this side of the equation, which I believe you do, if you want this side of the equation or the cycle, this side, well, you got to have this side. And this is what you're doing to yourself. This is huge. And I know if I had a conversation with you right now, like if it's just you and me, and you told me, yeah, Kirk, I want to have 20 people in my class. Oh, okay, how many people do you have enrolled so far? 0. Oh, okay, what's the challenge? Well, there's nobody out there. If you tell me that there's nobody out there, then I'm going to back up on the equation and go, okay, so you're messing with this. I know you're messing with this. You are messing around with this side of the equation, which means you are hurting yourself, and that's not good. And so you're being mean to yourself, and then that devalues you. Do you hear that? Devalue you. And then when you devalue you, of course, you're not going to have anybody to talk to because you don't want to talk to people. Oh, believe me, I've traveled this and put a big red X on myself so many times. And it's like, this doesn't work. This isn't working to put a big red X on me. That just doesn't work. And so when you, for whatever reason, you have a big red X on you, it makes this side super challenging. Almost seems like it can never happen. And this is actually one of the reasons why people quit. And they say, I'm not meant for this, is because they have a big red X all over this. But on this side, they've got it. They've got the ability to teach and share and enroll and to be able to wow people and change their lives. It's just over here on the inside, they didn't know they ought to work on treating themselves more fairly. I've seen good people who are really good at teaching and helping people completely just back out of being a coach and quit. And they told me, I'm not meant for this. I'm like, it has nothing to do if you're meant for this. You're not being fair. This is the problem right here. This is why you would quit. And you could be heading down this path and you didn't even know it because you're not being fair. You're not being fair with others. You're not being fair to yourself. You're just not fair. You're just harsh. You're critical. And you think the more you're critical, like you're supposed to improve. No, I don't know where that got started. The more critical you are doesn't make you a better person. It's harsh. It's mean. It's degrading. You could be unfair about how you look at yourself. You could be unfair about the way you talk. You could be unfair about your health, your lifestyle, your calendar, your home. You could be unfair about so many things. You really ought to look for where you're being unfair to yourself by only condemning yourself. And right behind this, what is it that you are doing good? What is it? It's probably a short list. You probably have a really short list of what you are doing well. And you probably have like this list over here on what you're not doing well. That's probably like 5 times as long, 10 times as long. You're so out of balance in how you're measuring yourself. And when you're out of balance here, you're not going to do this very well. You're going to come across as cynical, judgmental. Because if you're judgmental on self, you can't hide that from people. It shows up in your voice. When you're critical on yourself and then you go to talk to somebody else, oh, they can tell, they can hear it. It's not like you can hide it. Maybe you got parents that are just mean and they're critical on you. Maybe you got siblings that are critical on you and they're unfair in how they treat you. And so it just makes it seem normal to be unfair with yourself. But this is what's messing you up. When this is like this is what's messing you up from talking to people. Because the reason why you're here is because you got the smarts and you got the desire to serve people, be able to do this. But over here, it just feels like you can't get going. Feels like you're kind of like hiding and running away. Whatever level you're at, maybe you're already doing 10,000 a month, but you're still hiding and you could be at 15,000, 20,000, or maybe you're at 0 and you'd love to just have a $500 new client or a class that people purchase and it's total of $500. Maybe that's the next breakthrough for you. And it feels like it's not coming together. When this doesn't come together, it's because over here, you're not together in how you're treating yourself. You are the product. You are the service. You are the genius behind what you do. And if you devalue you, it makes sense that you would not promote yourself, and even that you would let somebody purchase your time because you've devalued yourself. That's why you give everything away for free. That's why you're pricing yourself too low, because you've devalued yourself. Now, I know this makes sense to you, and we have to bring this out and talk about this and be able to just go, okay, what's up with this? So behind this red X, and you hear me just rehashing this over and over and over again, because this is super important. You're going to try really hard on this half of the cycle. You're going to try really hard, and then you're going to be like, how come it's not working? And you won't even know what the problem is. And that's why I bring this out, because that's what I do. That's my specialty. And sometimes people think that I'm a pessimist because all I do is look for the problems, but you can't solve something you can't find. So I look for the problem so that it can be solved, so that there can be progress. That's what I do. I find the problem. And this is the problem: how you're valuing yourself. So what if you did a fair evaluation today? What if you did this today? What if you really looked at yourself and went, I'm going to pick 4 things that I'm doing well, and I'm only going to write down 4 things that are not working that I'm going to work on improving. And this is all you focus on. Anything past 4, that's not even on your mind anymore. You are only focused on improving these 4 things, or 3 or 2 or 1, but not more than 4. It's too many. Too many. Over here, 4 things that you're doing great at. And this is what you hyper focus on. Because if the list is too long, you're not going to do it anyway. It needs to be short. It needs to be something you can see, something you can notice, something you can think about. But if you started today being fair with yourself, yep, here's 4 things that I'm doing great. Here's 4 things that I'm working on improving right now. If you've got this far, your value would go up. Your value would go up, and you would find yourself starting to feel the desire to want to serve people.